A little over 10 years ago, I was sleeping on the floor of the San Francisco airport. I was 34 and I had no money, no home, and didn't know when I was going to eat next. Today, I have invested in more than 200 startups, been on the cover of Fast Company and Black Enterprise, and I just released my fourth book, my second independent. I have over 200,000 YouTube subscribers and a $1.2 million a year online business. But I recently hit a wall. There's only one of me, and I can't give everyone the one-on-one coaching that they need to succeed. So I did something drastic. I locked myself in my home office with a mission to build the AI version of my brain. No code, no venture capital, just a couple of powerful tools that I would use in everything that I've learned in meeting, investing with, and helping to teach thousands of entrepreneurs how to make money. So this video is the story of how I built my most sophisticated AI project ever, which is an asset that I designed to generate at least $1,000 a day for me from scratch and help you hopefully do something very, very similar. Get your first $1,000 client or maybe your next $1,000 client. So I have more than 25,000 members in my memberships on School. And I have a 90-person high ticket program, which is very high touch. It's called Inner Circle. It's where members get my phone number and they get to text me anytime. In fact, there's a member named Lauren who recently posted that she made $2,000 after just two texts with me this month. But I can't the problem is I can't talk to everyone one-on-one like this. I want to be able to help as many entrepreneurs as possible. So I decided to do what I've seen a couple of people do successfully, build my AI brain. Now, if you're excited to see this in action, if you want to see what I'm talking about and hear the story, say, I'm ready in the comments right now. I read every single comment before it goes live. So I can't wait to hear from you. And let me know what you're working on right now. 8 months ago, you may have noticed that Alex Hormozy, if you're familiar with him, Alex Hormozy had a book launch and I participated in this book launch, okay? So I actually won his affiliate competition. This was in August 2025. And I won his competition and I also bought a $6,000 AI and book bundle that he put together just to give it a spin, just to see the process and to learn from it. And the AI he trained actually is really, really great. It costs $6,000 to get an access to it. It's a little bit less upfront today, but still overall it's about 6K. So I did that and I decided I wasn't just going to use it and I wasn't just going to have these books, but I was going to learn what I could from it. Just like everything else that I do, I pay attention, I observe. And in the last eight months, I have sent about 70 messages back and forth to it, and they have been very helpful. So when I used it when I first used it on the first day, I realized this is way beyond ChatGPT, anything that ChatGPT or even Claude has told me, even though I used both of those daily and for longer periods of time. These were more personalized. And it's because Hormozy has trained this on countless data points and insights from himself. So this gave me an idea. And I've been working on that idea for 8 months now. So I started reviewing my one-on-ones because I have so many one-on-ones in my group sessions. I have one-on-ones with people who pay me thousands of dollars a year, with people who reach out for one-on-one consulting and pay me for that consulting, and with people that I've worked with for years. And I have group sessions all along my different levels of memberships, whether you're just getting started in your first 5K or you maybe have made six or even seven figures in my inner circle. And I started mapping out what could go into the AI brain. Now, here's the thing, in those 8 months, AI itself has grown so much by leaps and bounds, as it often does. And so there's even more of a robust way to do this. So this isn't a prompt. I'm sorry to tell you, this isn't a prompt that I can just give you, you copy and paste it and you're off. This is actually something that did take me a while to build because you can't replicate all of those calls. You can't replicate all of my insights. I took all 4 books and put them in as well. Now, I had a criteria that it needed to rival me and it needed to be easy to use, helpful from the first message, and it needed to make an impression on the user the very first time they used it. So I spent those 8 months gathering the data and the insights that I would use to train this project. Once I completed that, and actually it's never completed because I'm always updating it, but once I got the main training done, I started using it. I used so many, I guess you would call lines of code, as they say on Lovable. I used so many lines of code on Lovable to build this. Don't you love Lovable? If you love Lovable, let me know in the comments that it is the bomb. Like it is so cool. And if you haven't used it yet or haven't heard of it yet, don't worry. I got you. I'll teach you in the links below in my free membership, Your First 5K. So I started using it. And here is when I knew that this project that I was working on was going to at least double my annual revenue, if not more. Are you ready to hear? Before I tell you that, make sure you are subscribed below. Sometimes people forget to subscribe so you don't miss a video and that you get all of this information that I teach you on a day-to-day basis. But the way that I knew is that I made money with it the first day. And I don't mean by selling it, because I was just using it by myself. I mean that I used it as a user, as myself. I didn't make anything up. And I put in the inputs that you put when you first get there because it's so personalized. You put in your own inputs, it asks you questions, and so on. And it has a persistent memory, which means that as it talks to you with each message, it's learning more and more about you. It made money for me by telling me what to do about a particular question and scenario. And when it did that, within the first day, I knew I had something special. I knew that this was going to be very, very different and very special. And it actually made me a little emotional. It made me like, it gave me that kind of day before Christmas feel that I love as an entrepreneur. And so about a week ago, before my big virtual event, Your First Million Live, I invited test users to try it out. And what I said to them was, this was a group of my inner circle members who I mentioned earlier, who pay me thousands of dollars a year. What I said to them was, I would like for you to test this and give me testimonials if you like it. What I knew was that I was going to make it included in the inner circle package so that they would be getting it as a benefit of inner circle. But I wanted them to test it first without any sort of bribe, if you will, without any sort of bias. I just want you to test it, stress it for me, and give me any bugs and feedback, which they did. So more than 20 of the 90 tested it out in the first couple of days. And I wanted them to stress test it. I wanted them to take it to the limit because I needed this to be something that wasn't just impressing me, but was actually working for other people. So guess what? I got the most and the best feedback of any product launch I have ever had, of any. I got of course, I got some notes of some bugs that were happening because that's what happens when you build, especially on AI. You build and this doesn't work, or that it returned this, or I couldn't get this button to work, or this is what I would like it to do. So I got that, which was super, super helpful. And it really helped optimize it. But more than anything else, I got feedback of this is game changing. And then I also got feedback that this was life changing. No hyperbole, no hype. They were just saying this in their responses, almost forgetting that I had asked for a testimonial, just responding. So I said, can I put your testimonials on the page? And many of them said yes. So I'm going to show you a little bit of those testimonials. This is the product itself. And we're going to sign out of it so you can see the front page. Take a look at this. Tired of overthinking and under-earning? Get Arlan's brain 24/7 and land your first or next $997 client in the next 30 days. And I have to tell you, one of the 20 said she made 300 plus dollars in the first 58 minutes. So this goes on. I would look at this so you can see, because this was part of it. This was part of like building this sales page that's converting. Because yes, spoiler alert, it is making money. And I'm going to show you in a second. But this sales page and the way I did it, I want you to look at this, see the order that I did it in so you can kind of hack the page. But look at some of these testimonials. In under 60 minutes, this thing is giving me clarity that 5 years and nearly $100,000 in courses, programs, and other coaches have not been able to give me. This is the I used Authority X Pro, and it led me to getting a sale within the next hour of implementing. This is the person I was mentioning. And then the next one says, I'm absolutely in love with this product. It is changing my life. Do you see that? Changing my life. And it goes on and on and on. Absolutely mind blowing. This is so far beyond a prompt and beyond a custom GPT. If you think it's like a custom GPT, take that out of your mind. It honestly felt like I was live in a live coaching session or texting Arlan. And it goes on and on and on. And what I want to tell you, one of the things that, one of the pieces of information I got back that was so interesting, and you can use this in when you're building something, you want to hear those early signals from people that are not you and not just your family or people who want you to be happy. Someone told me who pays me thousands of dollars per year to be in my inner circle. She sent me a text because you get my number in inner circle. You get my phone number and you can text me anytime. Okay. There's only 100 total lifetime members. We have 90, and she has this ability. And I had not received a text from her since she joined. She sent me a text after she used Authority X Pro, which is what we're calling it. And she said, and I just said we, but it's just me. It's just me typing, I guess we in the AI. But I just want you to know, it's no team. It's like I'm just working on it by myself. This is what you can build. Anyway, she said, I had been nervous to reach out to you because I didn't have enough clarity to ask you the questions that I needed in order to get more clarity. Does that make sense? And does that feel like something that you might say? So she said, I paid for this. She got all this other stuff. So she was feeling good about it, but she didn't use that particular feature, which is like one of my favorites is you can text me anytime, because she felt like she didn't know what questions to ask. And she said when she used this, and this is on that site that I just showed you, authorityxpro.com, which is also linked below if you want to give it a spin. When she used it within the first session of using it, she had so much clarity that now she feels like not only can she text me anytime, but she feels like she probably won't have to. And going back to the original thing I said was that I was at this wall where I cannot do as many one-on-ones and even group sessions that it will take to teach everyone that I want to teach how to make money online so they can have freedom and options in their lives. So with this, it's a 24/7 version of me. It's 24/7 access to not just what's in my books regurgitated, not just uh, inspirational quotes. It's so specific and customized to you and to what I would say to you. And on top of that, it gives you step by step instructions, and then it works with you inexhaustibly. Meaning, if you send me a text as an inner circle member, you pay thousands of dollars a year. I invite you to join if you'd like to. But listen, if you do that, it's going to take, I say as my caveat, it'll take up to a week for me to respond because it's the only way that this works. So I might get back to you 5 to 7 days later. And by then, you've moved on to the next thing and it may not even be relevant to you. But with Authority X Pro, you can have an idea at 3 o'clock in the morning that wakes you up, like sometimes happens to me, and you can work with it and settle your mind because you have figured something out in 20 minutes. It's really like that. And because it's inexhaustible, you can ask the question over and over and over again. You could ask, okay, well, pull from that. Now pull from that. Now tell me what this part means and this part and what you want me to do next. And it'll keep going as long as you need it to go. So it is 24/7 and it is inexhaustible. So this is what I needed it to be. It's exactly what I needed it to be. In fact, if I'm going to be really transparent with you, I had decided to lift the 100-person lifetime membership for Inner Circle. And the reason I decided to lift it was because I said I want more people to have the one-on-one with me so that I can help more people. And then the same week, later that week, I released the demo version for Authority X Pro to Inner Circle. And by the time I got the feedback, like just maybe 2 or 3 days later, going into your first million live, I was like, I don't need to lift the 100-person limit. That can remain its very special sauce. And I had already asked Inner Circle if it was okay with them to do this. I had already sent out an announcement that we're doing this. You may be in Inner Circle and just hearing that I changed my mind again because I had set it up. I was like, this is going to have hundreds or thousands of people in it. And I guess I'm going to have to figure out how to be able to text everybody. And I was really dedicated to, I'm going to make it work. With Authority X Pro, I don't have to do that because it's actually better for the end user to have the ability to talk to me anytime they need because of that speed. Money loves speed. So these are the things in the last few days that I have learned very quickly. So it was 8 months of me training it, and now it's been 8 days of it training me. Does that make sense? Say something in the comments if that makes sense to you, if that resonated. It was 8 months of me training the AI, and now it's 8 days of me getting trained and probably getting a year's worth of information in those 8 days, learning from it. So what can it do? It can help you get clarity. That's the biggest thing. It can help you make money fast. And I want to say this with the caveat of there are no guarantees of anything anywhere. There's a terms of service that I invite you to read. But it can help you get clarity. And for the people who have used it, which is now more than 60 people between Inner Circle members who are testing it out, and I mean testing it as users because it's now theirs, and people who have paid for it, they are saying that they're making money the first day or two. I had someone sit next to me at Your First Million Live who said, I used it, I was trying it out, got comfortable, and then next thing you know, it helped me with my LinkedIn, and now I have six tentative, like I have 6 calls from LinkedIn about selling something. Like they helped them book 6 calls in like the first 48 hours. And then if you look at the page, the testimonials go on and on and on about more. So if you're wondering to yourself, why is this different? than ChatGPT or Claude or a custom, even a custom GPT, because I have some really great custom GPTs or my OSs. I have incredible OSs. I have to tell you that this is the closest thing to having me just sit next to you and answer the question and then give you everything you need to do the thing. It is the closest. All of the OSs in 360 Pass, if you're familiar, they are what you use once you get the answers from Authority X Pro. So you may go to Authority X Pro and say, look, I need to know what videos to produce, but I need to tell you why I'm producing these videos. I need to tell you what the plan is and tell me if this is a good plan. It'll work with you on the whole plan and get you straight. Then you can go work with it and or YouTube OS, and you can get like, 30, 40, 50 videos figured out. But this helps you as if you paid it thousands of dollars to help, or paid me thousands of dollars. Another thing that I built that I want to tell you about is something that you can think about, especially if you're more advanced on Lovable. If you consider yourself more advanced on Lovable, let me know in the comments. One thing that you can build is that internal admin dashboard where only you can sign into it. So let's say you build something on Lovable and it's front facing. It's a sales page or even a product that people can sign into or not. You can have your own custom dashboard that is your admin dashboard that only tell it only I can sign into this. And it can have almost any metric you can think of. And I definitely use these for mine. Not all of them, but I will do this. And one of the things that I have Authority X Pro looking at is based on the sentiment, the actual training, all of that of your conversations. Assign a value of if that person either had to come to me and we spent time together, like a VIP day or a one-on-one, or they were to go to someone else in market, how much value is assigned to that conversation? And it does all this calculation. And what I found in the first week is that each conversation, like each session, let's say you spend 20 minutes with it or even 2 hours, like people have told me they've stayed up all night using it. Each conversation on average has been worth $1,400 in value on average. And you can have a session more than once per day, or you can have it several times per month. And it's worth it, according to the calculations, more than 1,400. So to me, what I see there, just early days, is I think over time, we're going to start to see that there are millions, if not tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in value that it's going to bring to my ecosystem of users. So that is something that you may have like, oh, how many people visited? You can see that on Lovable. How many people converted? How many users were there today? But I'm talking about like test it, really give it some things that like your wildest dreams kind of data that you haven't thought about. And in the terms of service, it talks about how it has persistent memory, where it keeps up with all of the information that you have to train it to be better at talking to you. So there are things that I will never, ever sell your information to a third party. I'll never do that, never share it or sell it. It's there to help you for it to get better and better at knowing you. Now, it's also trained on these proven results of mine. So more than $500,000 in less than a year earned on Stan Store. And we had the CEO of Stan at Your First Million Live just a couple of days ago. So you understand like the proximity that I have and the lived experience that I have with Stan. Then it talks about how I have more than 25,000 members on school. And we had the school CEO at Your First Million Live in the building as well. So you talk about proximity and also the experience that I have there, making more than $1 million a year. With just these products alone, this does not encompass everything that I do because I'm an investor and I have all kinds of things going on. And then more than 600 YouTube videos in the last 2 years alone, and a portfolio of real member wins. You can go through several of these videos here on YouTube and you'll see interviews with people who have made their first 5K, which is the name of my biggest membership. And they've done this with these trainings. Now imagine what I talk about is speed, right? Money loves speed. So this product is about speed. You do not need to have this product if you want to make money or if you want to be successful because you have free options with your first 5K if you're not quite there yet. You also have the 360 pass, which is your graduation from just the free stuff in your first 5K. 360 pass will get you what you need. What I like to say when people say, "Well, I don't know if I can get it. What do I do?" Think about it like this. When you have money, when you don't have a lot of time, you spend money. And when you don't have a lot of money, you spend time. So if you want to get there faster, you spend money on this. I'm going to talk to you about how this makes $1,000 a day for me. Okay. So in helping other people make money and helping other people find clarity, which is sometimes more important than capital, and confidence. I've heard all of these this week, all of these in person, online, people using it, people paying for it and finding that they're getting their money's worth in the first session. What the way that I'm making $1,000 a day, and that's at least 1,000 because it's actually going to be more, is that all I have to do is sell one per day because the launch price is 997. The actual price is 1997. So $2,000 is the real price per year. This is per year to use it because again, I said before, each session has been valued at $1,400 based on this data that we have from market and from other things. And for the launch, which will be a limited time, it's 997. So I've had several orders, and the orders started coming in on the first day that it launched. So what I did was, let me tell you about the launch because I think it's going to be helpful to you. So I have Your First Million Live. If you're not familiar, it's an event that I put on in 2024, a big, 2,000 person event in Los Angeles. I didn't do it in 2025 just because of like the world and economics, and it was just like so expensive to put on. So in 2026, I said, I want to do it this year, but I need a way to do it that doesn't cost as much. And also, I need a way to do it where we don't have to bring everybody to Los Angeles because a lot of people didn't want to travel. A lot of people didn't have the money, etc. Because I want it to be something where we can like learn from it and do and have success rather than being like, oh, I'm broke and I'm like tired and I feel FOMO because I can't make it. So we had this virtual version where we had about 50 people in person, and those mostly were from my inner circle. And then we had people, and they came from all over the world, which is really cool. And then we have thousands of people with access to the streaming and the replay. And so what I did was there's a bonus day that Inner Circle members, 360 Pass members, and Arlan's All Access members had access to. And that was on a Wednesday. That was last Wednesday. So on that call is when I very first talked about it publicly because it was a smaller call. It was fewer people there. And it was more of my ideal audience for this, which I thought, actually, I'm going to tell you something that just blew my mind because I thought that was my ideal audience. People who had already started their offers and were already making money. And I introduced it by letting some of the people or asking some of the people who have used it in the last few days to come on stage and talk about it. Because I can tell you this all day long, how great it is. But when you hear somebody else who is not getting paid, who has no incentive to just, embellish, who is like like, listen, I want to be on it right now. I wish I could be on it right now because it makes me so much money, or it gives me so much clarity, or does the thing that it does for that particular person. There's nothing that beats that. So I'm going to take that footage and I'm going to mix it and remix it and use it in different places. I'll turn it into shorts and reels. I'll turn it into its own little sound bites. I'll put it as a longer, like, back to back testimonials, even though they happen in different times. So I premiered it to my audience that pays, basically the audience that pays me thousands a year to be an inner circle, or 1,000 a year to be in Arlen's All Access, or 360 a year to be in the 360 Pass program, because they've already proven that want to they want to cut speed, right? They want speed to the destination. And then on the next day, which was the official first day of your first million live, again streaming first, is when I did a presentation to officially announce it. And when I officially announced it, so that first day I got my first official orders, and that was so fun and so cool. And I was like, whoa, it worked. It worked. Like people, like, at least what I'm saying is interesting enough to people for them to try it out. And then the next day it worked again. Like, I was like, whoa, like people really want to try this out. Like the premise of it is good. But here's where things got really interesting. You remember when I said that I knew this was going to be big when it helped me make money? Well, the first few minutes that people were using it, they started posting online and posting in the memberships. Like, this thing works. This is so great. Let me see if I can find one for you. They're like, this is so good. And I was like, this is something this is gonna work. This is gonna be good. So let's see. I think if I look it up like this, maybe I can find it. Yeah. Sharon said, Authority, I just purchased Authority X Pro. It's no joke. It won't allow you to wait to get started. It pulls you forward immediately, and I will have 99.97 offer before the end of today. So excited. Like, she just got it, right? And there's a bunch of like um testimonials that I put on the site, and there's a bunch of people who posted about it, but I haven't had a chance to review what is private and what is not, so I won't post it on the page here. But basically, I got that confirmation I needed. People who got it included in their membership of Inner Circle loved it. People who are not my family and not me loved it. That was the first layer. The second layer was, will people even buy it? And they bought it because of the presentation. It was very high quality presentation of your first million live. I literally had $2 billion CEOs on stage with me, and black woman named Terry Gioma, who made $60 million cash over the last few years building her authority. And so I was proving out my authority, right? So this is the book, right? And if you can't do anything else, get the book. If you can't afford the 997, it has a payment plan. So with PayPal, so give it a try. But if you can't, I'm sorry, I don't mean PayPal, I mean Stripe. Give it a try. But if you can't afford it, if it doesn't work, if you can't get that, get the book. The book is $30. You get the audio version, you get the eBook version, and you get the hard copy pre-order. So you get it like 2 to 3 weeks later, or 2 to 4 weeks later. But you get the audio and the ebook immediately for download, and you get a partial replay of your first million live. Like, that's what you should do if this is like good information, but you're like, I'm not there yet. So that was the layer. And then that layer of people saying, I paid for it, I took the risk, and it helped me immediately. And I think it's amazing. Then the next layer was, after I had the 3 days virtual that many of you saw, that you may have seen, I had a fourth day that was in person. So for anybody who did fly in or did come in to the in person, about 40 or so of the 50 people who were there, I gathered them at my home, and on Saturday, and I gathered them to just, because it had been such a, like, I was up from I woke up at 3 a.m. every day and I went to sleep at about midnight. So it was like, just crazy. And then I was working the whole time and I prepped for it. So I wanted this day where it was just like a calm day where I could just chill and everybody could like, we could get pictures and we could talk about what our favorite parts were. And so it was really, really lovely. And it was inner circle members and people who had flown in from Australia and Germany and Greece and all over the place. So there, I was walking around, and you can imagine like 2 to 4 to 6 people talking to each other at a time in little pockets, some sitting, some standing, and I'm walking around, and all of a sudden I come across this table, and I know them all because they're in my inner circle. So I was like, "Hey, what you talking about?" And they were all like, "We're talking about Authority X Pro. We're talking about it is so good." I was like, "Really? Like this is like not only are they using it by themselves, but there's like a conversation piece happening. It's like it's what people are talking about even if they can't be on it." So that was like a next step. So I asked them, "Hey, can you film part of this conversation?" So they ran and got Johnny, and they got her they knew she had a tripod and her phone set up, so they got that and they started filming. And I think they used Chen Li's microphone or something so you could pick it up. So that footage I'll be able to show you soon. But you want to look for signals. You want to look for signals that it's not just you. And I've had that with many things that I've released. I mean, obviously, when you have your first 5K and it has 26,000 members and 20,000 plus came in the last month, I'm sorry, in the last 3 months, then you know you have something, right? When people are making money left and right from your free challenge that you have inside the classroom, you know it's doing something. This one, even with all of that, even with all the success that I've had and the failures, no doubt, that I've had, this one feels like the most aligned and the most useful and the one that I truly believe will make probably the most money of my online products over time. Now, who is it for? Well, I said earlier that I was surprised. So I thought it was going to be for, and for 8 months, I thought it was for people who already had their offer, who already were selling and were doing a good job and wanted to just turbocharge that. But that is true. And many people in my inner circle prove that because they are turbocharging something that already works. But more so, it is working for people who don't know what to do, who have no clarity, who feel lost, or maybe have sold in the past but have really had a drought, or people who have had other careers and they're trying to make this work because they no longer want to work for someone. I mean, like from the person who has no idea what to sell to the person who makes $1 million plus, I was able to talk to them and see that it works for all of them. And very much so works for people who don't know. They may have an idea or they may even have a product or offer out there, but it's not selling. And this is helping them get their stuff together. Now, saying that, you may say, well, then who shouldn't buy it if it's for everybody on this thing? You shouldn't buy it if you think that, oh, it's a magic button. I'm going to push a button and all my worries will be gone. It, as great as it is, and in some cases it helps people make money in the first hour, you have to be willing to do the work. Like the person that it made money for in the first hour, and it's done that more than once now, but that first person, Adana, she told us more about it during that last day where we hung out. She said, it told me to do this, and I reached out to this many people and did that. So she had to do this part on this end. And if you're like, oh, I don't want to reach out to people, it makes me nervous, tell it that. Tell it that, and it'll give you some alternatives. It'll help you or help you reframe it. You also shouldn't do it if you're just not willing to take action on what my AI brain is going to tell you to do. Because if you got on a one-on-one with me, you paid to get on a one-on-one with me, which so many people ask to. And I tell you, I'm going to tell you the same. I'm going to tell you, you got to do it. Like I can't do it for you. I don't do a done for you service where I go around and sell for you. I just don't have that. It just doesn't work at scale, right? You have to do it. So you don't get this if you're not willing to do stuff. But I tell you what, it is. It is powerful. Now, how do you get it? I have the link in the description below and in the pinned comment. And if it's not in the description by the time you see it, look in the pinned comment below and it'll be there. You can get it. It will either be 997 or 1997 depending on when you see this video. It may even be a different price, but it won't be lower than 997. It'll be some price that I've settled on. And where do I see it going? If I'm being honest, and I'm gonna put this out there and then we'll see what happens. My goal for this is for it to be the single most effective AI product that I have to help people make more money faster so they can start living now, so they can get to the good part now. I started this video by talking about being homeless, sleeping on the floor of an airport, not knowing when I was going to eat next. I don't I don't want that for other people. I don't want that for us. We have so much that doesn't get tapped into. And that's why I have all these resources. I have my book. This is my fourth book. I have all these books that I've published or have been published for me. I have my memberships, which are so, so helpful, especially if you want to have camaraderie, you want to have other people with you. Go to your first 5K for free. Go in there and tackle that. Don't look at the FOMO side of this. Oh, I can't afford 997. Okay, go into the classroom and do the 5-day challenge and maybe you can. You know what I mean? Like people are making, there's like hundreds of members make money from that. And that's just because it's been so fast that we got to thousands. And then I'm going to be, somebody asked me a couple days ago inside the membership, hey, do you keep adding to it? And the answer is yes. I will keep adding the training as I train. And so it will be up to date. And then as you work with it, it will be up to date on you. So it's just very exciting. I'm not going to be putting a ton of bells and whistles on it. Right now, the big bell and whistle is that you can generate a playbook. Like my last two books were called a playbook, right? So when I have one-on-ones with most of the people that I do one-on-ones with, within 24 hours, I usually send them what I call their custom playbook. And that is a 3 to 6 page PDF that summarizes our conversation, but also tells them what to do. And people just love it. It's like almost better than the call itself. Like people just love it. They print it out, they use it, they reference it. And so I wanted to have that as kind of the same experience with this so you can generate a playbook based on your conversations. And you can do this anytime. I recommend doing it after a few back and forth and then maybe doing it once a month. You can do it more often if you want, but maybe get that 30-day in front of you, do the thing and then tell it that you did the thing and then get the next playbook, right? But it's yours. Like once you have it, you paid one price for the whole year. And if you use it once or twice, you get the value of your money back, right? So imagine if you use it every week, how much value would that be? I have done some calculating, and I think that there are some people who are power users who are going to use it every day almost, and they're probably going to get $500,000 worth of coaching in that time, which is beyond. Now, if you only get $1,000 worth of coaching, you've made your money back if you got it in on this launch price. So thank you, thank you, thank you for going on this journey with me. And I can't wait to see what you do and to hear your experience with it. And I can't wait to see what you build. You got to focus. I'm going to tell you what you got to do because it just helped me. I focused. I didn't go out. I went out for like Angel City games for our women's soccer and our women's basketball and a couple of concerts, and I traveled for work. But other than that, I was locked in for the last 8 months working on this. And I think it's going to be more than worth it. Already is more than worth it to me just from the response. But I think it's going to be worth millions and millions of dollars in revenue for me. And then I think it's going to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions, in value for my ecosystem.